என்னடா யோசிக்கிற? There is nothing to think so much மச்சான். தைரியமா போ. ட்ரஸ்டபிள்ரா. 3 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி என்ன பார்த்துருக்கல, இப்போ நான் பார்க்குறல்ல. How confident I am because I have taken a right decision. நான் கொடுத்த அட்ரஸ் போய் விசிட் பண்ணு. You will have a personal care from them.
எல்லா பேஷண்ட்ஸுக்கும் பர்சனல் கேர் தராங்க. 30 years of proven medical records. All eye care treatment under one roof. அதான் ஆர்கே ஐ சென்டரோட ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி.
My dear children of God, it's my pleasure to be with you all once again, sharing my life experience with you all and how God can groom us to be a success through a hard life that we may have to go through initially. I have been sharing my experience on my school days, college days, and last week I shared on how I got my first job at Singareni Collieries Company Limited, a quasi-government with 50-50 I think, central and state government stakes. They were planning to convert coal into coke, soft coke, and extract the byproducts. Singareni Collieries is as such a mining industry. They have a lot of mines in Andhra Pradesh, and for the first time they were planning to heat this coal in the absence of air and make it soft and extract the byproducts and sell the soft coke as a smokeless fuel. In those days LICO, one similar fuel was produced at NLC, Naval Lignite Corporation. Similar to that they wanted to develop, and they wanted to put up the plant and then go in for production and then go in for extraction of chemical in stages. So for that only an interview, a written test and interview was conducted, and by the grace of God, out of 1,000 who gave the written test, 32 were selected for interview, and finally 7 of us were selected for filling up the vacancies. And because I stood first, I had the chance of getting promoted for every promotion, so I was happy. I joined. I was briefed up the next day, and I was told we all the 7 with senior operators from Andhra Pradesh will be sent to FCA Sindri, Fertilizer Corporation of India Sindri in Bihar, and we will be given 6 months training in coke oven plant and 6 months training in gas cleaning plant, 12 years totally, where we are supposed to learn on operation of the plants. And after completing that, we may have to go through another 3 months experience. We have to go through that at Naval Lignite Corporation briquetting and carbonization plant. So altogether 15 months training. After this 15 months training, we have to go to a town called Mancheriala, and there this plant was getting implemented. It was very close to Ramagundam, very hot place. So this was their plan. So I went and joined training at FCA Sindri. That was my golden period. I can sort of say honeymoon period, because not much tension like what I was having at the time of studying, because every year there were no semesters, but every year for this annual exams you will be studying very hard, and year after year you will be studying. Finally you will be looking for a job. Now I got a job. Now this training period is a carefree period, because still the responsibility has not yet come. So I was learning Hindi, because in North India you have to learn Hindi. So I learned Hindi in 30 days in Tamil and English and started learning, and it was a nice experience. I learnt the operation of the plant at Fertilizer Corporation of Sindri, and then came down to NLC, Naval Lignite Corporation briquetting and carbonization plant, and gone through 3 months training there. And this all was happening between 75 October to 77 January. 76 October till that I was at Sindri. Next 3 months up to December I was at 76 December I was at Neyveli, and January I joined Singareni Collieries for implementing this project. Basic design was from RRL Hyderabad for this coke oven plant, and detailed engineering was done by EPAL, Engineering Projects India Limited, Delhi. They were converting the basic drawings of RRL into a engineering drawing through lot of consultants, and we were in the government side trying to float the tender what these consultants have made, and issue the order for the prospective contractors for getting this job implemented. And because by the grace of God I stood number 1 in the merit list, the heart of the job, carbonizer part, was given to me. So I was instrumental in checking the tender documents for carbonizers, related pipings, electricals, civil connected with carbonizers, and float the tender. It was a 2-bid system because you will have a technical specification what you want, and you will give to the prospective vendors and you will ask them to quote. Usually they will quote with their own specifications also, not abiding to the specifications what you call for. That is a 2-bid system. We do not take the price bid immediately. We will tell them you give your technical bid in line with what we have asked separately, and for that give us the price bid sealed, both sealed separately. So once when they submit the technical bid, we will not open the price bid. The technical bid we will compare it with our tender requirements and find out whether everything what we had asked for, whether they are falling in line with that, whether they are giving the same thing or trying to dilute the specification, trying to palm off something of a lesser quality and specification. These are all we will be doing in the first stages with the technical bid. And wherever if they have diluted the technical specification, we will tell them no, we will not accept this, you have to, we will insist that this should be the specification. And in this way we will bring all the contractors on par, keep them all on par and get their commitments, and then finally we will tell them now for this specification give your final price bid. So that bid only we will try to open, so that they are made to conform to the technical specification what we wanted. So this is how we go about it. This was a very rich experience as a raw graduate for me. Never I got this experience earlier. So this helped me a lot in growing up later in my career. Today if I am what I am as an entrepreneur, it is all I will give thanks to that job what God gave me to learn through that job at Singareni Collieries, floating the tender, how the contractors will submit their offers, how they will camouflage their specification to meet ours when they are not meeting also, how to dig deep and find out what is their intention and correct it and things like that. The main carbonizer tender finally we awarded to Binni Engineering Division. It was active in those days, it is no more active now. In those days itself it was around 3.5 to 4 crore value. I am talking about in 77, a huge value, and they used to submit the shop drawing and fabrication drawing, and as an engineer with my help from the diploma holders as a team we used to check all the drawing to suit to our consultants drawing and basic engineers drawing and ensure that all are in line with our requirement. It was an amazing experience, and they will come up with so many things. We will please accept our actual weight. Actual weight will be always more because of the welding weight, as well as when they roll out in the steel in the mills there will be a positive tolerance. So the actual weight will be more than the ISI weight. But we used to say no, nothing doing, we will only go by ISI weight because that is what we have stipulated in the contract. Suddenly they will say, sir, huge bar, why should we machine it? We will roll it, we will make a bearing alone into that cylindrical shape. I knew these people wanted to cut short with their cost, and sharp corners will not be right. So I used to say, nothing doing, you better do it as per the drawing. And even AC sheeting, overlapping, we may be insisting that 1.5, they will try to put half. All these things with eagle's eyes, we will be watching where things can go wrong, we are correcting it. So that was amazing experience, rich experience. I was learning. It took around 3 years to implement it, from 77 beginning to somewhere around 79. We were putting up, and because carbonizer was the heart of it, before I gave clearance to any civil flooring and other civil structures which was being managed by my other engineers, I have to sign it, because so much of coordination I have to do. All the piping, whether the piping holes there, whether they have kept it properly, cable routing, whether they have taken it properly. So unless I sign it, they cannot pour the concrete. And once when I sign it, if they pour the concrete, if something is wrong, I will be pulled up. So I was all the more tense, as well as it gave me an opportunity to learn more on what type of mistakes contractors also can do. I saw some of the contractors just quoting without mentioning some clauses. Later on, if government puts some levies like excise duty or something like that, these people will come and plead, sir, excise duty 2% has been implemented, please give us. We will say, you have not mentioned it in the tender. Some contractors would have been wisely would have mentioned it. In case if any taxes are implemented in future, that has to be given to us. Such contractors used to get that money. The contractors never put such conditions, we used to refuse. These were all the clauses which I was learning, which later on when I went into a private sector, I could learn and go about it. But after 3.5 years after putting up this plant into erection testing and commissioning, we operated it for another 1 year. But by that time, this expansion project of extracting chemical was shelved. That came as a big shock to me. I was thinking I was in number 1 in the merit list, I will keep growing very fast. But once when this expansion was shelved, I thought it's high time I should leave the company, because no more I could learn. Up to erection I learnt, something on operation I learnt, but simply operating for next 15 years I am not going to learn anything. It was then I realized I must have an MBA to grow up further. So I thought I should go and settle down in one of the cities, preferably at Chennai, do my part-time MBA and use this experience and also gain my MBA, so that ultimately I can grow up in my career ladder a lot more quickly. So that I need not do my MBA by breaking my experience, but if I could somehow get a part-time MBA, nothing like that, because in those days Madras University had 12 seats, a part-time MBA, and they used to consider candidates with graduation, and higher, if you had got distinction, it will be an advantage, which I had. And another thing, 3 years minimum experience, work experience, which I had. So then on, I started looking for a job in cities, preferably Chennai, so that I can do my MBA as well as shift over from this job where I am not able to learn. So my dear children of God, God knows how to groom us. He is teaching us. Where do we see? In Job 35:11 we see, who teaches us more than he teaches the beasts of the earth and makes us wiser than the birds of the sky. So my dear children of God, he is teaching us. He taught me at that place for 3.5 years to 4 years, groomed me to be what I am today. Thank you.
Appointment வாங்கிட்டல?
வாங்கிட்டேன்க்கா.
Hey, why are you getting nervous? Last month பிரியா குட்டியோட அங்க தான் விசிட் பண்ணேனா. எக்கனாமிக்கல் டா. இன்சூரன்ஸ் கூட கிளைம் பண்ணிக்கலாம். Premature babiesல இருந்து old age people வரைக்கும் விசிட் பண்ற ஒரு இடம்.
எல்லா பேஷண்ட்ஸுக்கும் பர்சனல் கேர் தராங்க. 30 years of proven medical records. RK Eye Center T நகர்ல இருக்கிறதுனால accessible to all places.
Youngsters, you guys must take the right decision at the right time with the right people.